Is buying a rental property a good idea? It's horrible. Get out of the business. I think we all know the answer to that. I know some people, and when I hear it, it blows my mind. They say, oh, I used to own rental properties and I had a horrible experience, so I'm not going to do that again. It's like saying, I went to a restaurant and I had a bad meal, so I don't ever go out to dinner ever again. I'm not going to do it. It's ridiculous. So if you're not a good property manager, maybe someone else should be. At least you learn what your strengths and weaknesses are, right? Or maybe you had a bad property manager and maybe you should be managing them. Who knows what the scenario is? When I hear that stuff, I just think, oh, you got to do something. Real estate has been a phenomenal vehicle for me and a lot of people that I know. And, you know, it usually works out pretty good. So I would say the answer is yes. This video's over, but I think we can get into some more stuff. So I'm going to do that right now. So years ago, you know, I saw this thing. It was a 401k. And a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to invest in this 401k. I decided at that time I was going to invest in real estate as my 401k. You could do both, but let's just talk about this for a minute. Any additional money that I had, I was going out and buying real estate, right? So in doing so, what am I doing? I'm creating a residual income. I'm not talking about fixing and flipping. I'm talking about long-term holds, the rental properties, right? So when doing so, there are some things that you need to, you know, kind of be aware of, and that is you're going to be a property manager. And you could say, you know what, John, I've heard from other people, they say you need to hand that off to somebody else. You're going to want to pay attention because I'm going to talk a lot about that here at the end, but it is going to be at the end. So make sure that you pay attention because it's going to follow all this other great content. So if you haven't already, go down, subscribe, follow us. Let us bring you content like this daily. Anyways, let's get going back into this. So I tell people, think about it like this. Imagine it like this. Having employees that you don't have to manage on a daily basis. That's how I think about rental income. So people go to work every single day and they work. Someone else manages them to make money. So they make money and then what do? They pay you. They pay down your asset. I try to leverage a property, take a loan out on it, and let someone else come in, month out, day in, day out, pay for that property and pay it down and eventually pay it off. Why? It's better them than me. Someone has to always have a place to live, including yourself. So do you want to be paying rent or do you want a mortgage or someone paying your mortgage? So again, I say, well, if you have one person out there paying for your rental, why not 2, 3, 10, 50, 100, whatever the number it is. All right, so they're paying down the mortgage, and as they pay down, you're getting appreciation. And also, you could be going through inflation, so your income's growing with it, right? Grows accordingly. That's why I'm a huge fan of rental properties, because it grows. And as we go through technically the dollar gets weaker, and as it does, it costs you more money. Well, rental property will grow with it. So if rents go up, your income goes up. So you're getting the appreciation and residual income, the cash flow, the profits off of it. Helps you hedge against inflation. Just like buying gold, people will buy gold to hedge inflation. You could buy a rental property and it could hedge against inflation as well. The difference is you get that monthly cash flow. Now, a lot of people will say, John, when I have a rental property, I don't want to necessarily manage that rental property, which is fine, but I recommend everybody take and manage their first few rental properties. And here's why. Property management companies take up to 10% of the profits, right? So think about this, for example, just for easy numbers, because I got to keep it simple for myself. Let's say I'm renting a property for $1,000 a month. And let's say my mortgage is $700. So I'm dealing with a $300 a month profit. Not bad, right? Well, let's say I'm paying 10%. That's $100 a month. That's 33% of my net income is going to a property manager. You know what more than likely they're going to do? They're just collecting a check, right? So you want to make sure that you are the person collecting as much money as possible. Here's another thing. Not all property management companies are created equal. Think about it. If they're a big company, they're fielding tons of calls. How do they get a service company go out and service, let's say, for example, if your hot water tank goes out? Well, if your hot water tank goes out, you know how much a hot water tank costs, about $450. You go do it yourself or you hire someone, you don't pay an arm and a leg. Property management company could just say, here's $1,000, $1,200, go replace it. They're incentivized, to go out. Financially, they're incentivized to go out and probably do your property first, right? So think about that scenario where it's $1,000 or $1,200. How many months of that $200 is it going to take you to break even or get back that money that you just spent on the hot water tank versus managing it yourself, reducing the cost of what things take to replace? Also, you get to enjoy that 33% more of the income that you're receiving on a monthly basis. This is just something to think about. Let's just say, for example, you're used to now there's things that come up, you'll know how to address them. I'm not saying don't hire a property management company. I'm just saying do the process first so you fully understand it, so you know better how to manage that property management company. You also know if you're getting taken advantage of. Me personally, we bring that in-house, so we're keeping more of it, and we keep tabs not only on our tenants, but what's going on with that house and what's been replaced. So this is what I recommend doing. I do it. That's why I'm recommending you do it. I don't know of a better long-term strategy for wealth than having rental properties, and here's why. I get to leverage the bank's money. Let's just say, for example, I get a 90% or even 80% loan. It's just less money that I have to put down in having a rental property. And there's numerous ways to acquire. You can do subject to and all these various ways. It's not what we're going to get into right now. What I'm talking about is, should you have rental properties? And however you acquire them, through traditional lending, taking over someone else's note, you're leveraging what someone else has done. You're leveraging the bank's money, and then you're leveraging other people's efforts. So other people's money, the bank's money, other people's efforts, the people that go to work every day, and you're creating that wealth over time. Sometimes it's that $300. You're like, well, John, it's $300. I'm not getting rich off that. You're right. But let's just say you're in it for the long haul, and you pick up a house, a couple houses a year. At the end of 15, 20 years, when you have accumulated a nice amount of houses and they're all paid off, maybe you have 20 houses, well, we have appreciation, but let's just say we keep them at $1,000 a month. You have $20,000 a month coming in when your properties are free and clear, using the bank's money to acquire them, other people's efforts. They go to work every day to pay them off. And what have you done? You're managing them in between, right? So in doing so, you've created yourself a nice, not just nest egg, but residual monthly income for you and your family to retire off of. So don't leave it up to me. You ask yourself, should you be doing rental properties? Yes or no? Comment down below. Let me know. Do you want to do rental properties or do you want to rent? Here's the thing. Lots of ways to pick up real estate and pick up properties. Let's get started on your real estate endeavors by clicking the link below and getting your free 100 ways to find off-market real estate deals.